Guess what we're doing today? Oh my goodness, we're finally showing you guys a camping video. We went camping a couple weeks ago, we took the dogs, and today I'm going to show you everything that we did. Let's go camping! So we stayed a couple of nights at Brimley State Park in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We have never actually been to this state park, and it was so nice. It was a little bit warm, but that wasn't necessarily a bad thing, which you'll see a little bit further on in the video. So we arrived a little bit later in the evening on this trip, so we took the dogs for a little walk around the campground to try to get a feel for where everything is. As I said, we'd never been here. Very nice campground, big, huge spots, and we kind of settled in a little bit early because, as I said earlier, it was a little bit warm, so we could be ready for our adventure the next day. I didn't even get it made, and you're already... Don't do that. Hey, don't tear it up. Oh my goodness, is that going to be a better topper than the old topper? It's not as tall, which I'm really excited about, so we'll see if they like it better. Kira already approves. I just took, Memphis is like, Mom brought the cooling mat, you guys. Check it out. She was just trying to lay on that. Now she moved to this. I'm going to have to get some more of these cooling mats, which I will put some affiliate links for these down below because the dogs absolutely love them. Oh, are you on the couch? Chilling on the couch? I got the air on. It'll cool off in here. It'll just take a little bit. Yeah, you're already happy as can be. Goofball. The next day we got up and, of course, as always, walked the dogs around the campground, did all of our normal things, and then we headed to Tahquamenon Falls. This was so much fun because, as I said, my parents were with us, my brother was with us, Indy was with us, Stewart. You guys remember Stewart? You guys have been asking to see him in videos again. Look, there's Stewart. Look how big he's gotten. If you don't know who he is, this is my brother's dog, Stewart. He's amazing. He's such a good dog. So anyway, we all went together and we hiked back to Tahquamenon Falls, which is not a very long hike, but it was really, really windy. And again, it was a little bit warm, a little bit more humid than we're used to walking around in. But as we always do, we did our best to make the best of it. Here, I can show you guys exactly how windy it actually was. Just listen to this clip. The huge waterfall right there. Still one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, the wind feels so good. Woo! It's windy! So yeah, you also kind of heard the waterfall noises as well. So after we walked around for a little bit, we headed back to the car and back to the campground where we fed the dogs, chilled out for a little bit. And you remember how I was saying earlier that it was warm? Well, one of the nice things about it being warm and one of the nice things about where we were staying at this campground is we took the dogs down to the beach so they could go swimming. She's like, we just got back, Mom. You just took this harness off me. Now you're putting this harness back on me. And I don't want this harness on. And I don't care if you're taking me swimming. I don't want this harness on. I'm going to have a fit. Kira, do you want to go swimming? Do you want to go down to the lake, go swimming? That's what I thought. We went down to the shores of Lake Superior, which, as I said, the campground we stayed at, we just walked right to the beach. It was not even a 5-minute walk from where we were at. And the dogs got to go swimming in Lake Superior. They walked around a whole bunch, and then we brought their little bit longer leashes so they could swim. Jamie walked out with Kira and Eleanor, and you can see here, they were having so much fun swimming.
As far as I can go, girls. Come on, back this way. Come back this way. Let's go this way. Yeah, get Mama. Good job.
Memphis was only allowed to go up so deep because she had had a procedure done and wasn't supposed to be getting soaking wet. So she walked around on the water, got her belly wet, and had a good time as well. These dogs were so happy to be in the water. Then we headed back to the campground where we just kind of chilled out. We had a couple of fans sitting outside so that the dogs could still be outside. Another tip if you're camping, if you use fans outside, it will also keep bugs away. So there's a little pro camping tip for you guys. And then we headed to bed to get ready for the adventure the next day. So the next day we got up, and for our little adventure that day, we decided to drive to Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, which you've never been here. It is a beautiful place. The Soo Locks are there. We actually went down to Rotary Park and we got to watch a great big huge freighter come across. That was really cool. They pass right through here as they go in and out of the Soo Locks. And there is that big freighter.
I wonder why it's a big rock.
Which is really neat. So we drove around Sault Ste. Marie, had a good time with the dogs, and then headed back to the campground. Now today was an extra windy day, so we headed back down to the beach, but the dogs didn't necessarily want to swim because the waves on Lake Superior were gigantic. Look at these waves, they're gigantic. So instead, you know what happens. Eleanor decides she's gonna dig a hole in the beach.
What's in there? Is that fun? Yeah, dig it.
Kira's like, maybe I would try.
You could dig in there too? Is that
Kira's
cold
like,
down there? Yeah.
Maybe I'll try.
Yeah. Good girl, you're digging. Look at that digging.
She gonna throw it right at you.
And nice cold down there.
And then Kira decides she's gonna help. Kira's turn, apparently.
You gotta let her do it.
She thought it was Eleanor. At some point in time, Memphis decides that she's gonna be the supervisor, so let's just enjoy the dogs digging at the beach.
That's a big hole there, Memphis.
Like, I need to supervise this hole.
Yep.
You find water? She did.
Yep.
She did.
Yeah.
I saw it. She got all the way in the water.
Look, there's water.
There it is. Look out! Okay, that might be enough. And don't worry, when we were all done here, we filled in this hole. We always make sure to fill in these holes when the dogs dig them in the beach. Pro tip, again, if your kids or your dogs dig holes in the beach, you should definitely fill them in when you leave because you don't want anybody tripping in those holes. It does happen. You just don't want anybody falling in a hole that your kids or your dogs left at the beach. So be kind, fill in those dugout holes. Once again, we headed back to the campground and chilled out at the campsite for a little bit. Of course, we made a fire and we had some s'mores. You won't believe this, but it was these kids' first time ever having s'mores, which was kind of fun. And then we headed to bed because the next morning we had to get up and go home. When we woke up the next morning, it was just barely starting to rain. It was crazy that we were there in this ridiculously warm temperature. And the next morning when we woke up and walked the dogs around the campground, it was cold. Well, colder than it had been. But it was a really fun trip. We had a really good time. And if you guys want to see like the more in-depth, detailed, longer version of this trip, I will put a playlist at the end of this video and down in the video description below. Now, I know the last two videos have been health updates and things like that with the dogs, and next week will probably be another one, but I didn't really have any of those to give you guys this week, so I thought I would give you this camping video that I've been holding on to for way too long. And hopefully we can do these again soon. So let us know down in the comments below. Have you ever been camping? Have you ever taken your pets camping? What's your favorite place that you've been camping? I would love to know all the fun things. Yes, a new Fan Friday is also coming, so watch out for that in the next couple weeks as well. All right, you guys. We hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay positive, dream big, and we will see you again soon. Goodbye, audience.